Tomorrow is the Pokemon Presents we've all been waiting for, and it's gonna be over 19 minutes long. Let's take a look. All right, with nearly 2 months of drought, we finally have the next Pokemon presentation taking place tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I will actually be live streaming the event on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ADrive, about an hour prior. We'll react to everything live with the ADrive Army, which is always a blast, and then I'll have my coverage here on YouTube, so you don't have to wait too long. If you want to see it, if you want to watch it live with us, all that stuff. Pori Leaks actually pulls some data from the YouTube channel indicating that the presentation is expected to be 19 minutes and 11 seconds long, which is a pretty hefty presentation. I do want to remind you guys that a Pokemon Presents does not just include the latest game coming out like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but will also most likely include a lot of other information from previous Pokemon titles that already exist, like Pokemon Masters, Cafe Remix, and a couple other things that we're going to touch on in this video. Now, I thought it'd be fun to kind of take a look at some of the stuff that we got in the previous trailer and then kind of take a look at what we could expect in this upcoming trailer. So in the last trailer, which was on June 1st, we got some information like they revealed Professor Sada and Professor Turo. We also got information about the starters 3D rendered in the game for the first time, and then we also got some information about the potential rival Nemona. They also showed her signature Pokemon Palmy, which we know through some leaks that has some really interesting characteristics, so we may get more information there. They also dabbled in the fact that there's a 4-player co-op free roam kind of opportunity, and I think that we might see some expansion on that, as it does seem as though this multiplayer aspect to Scarlet and Violet could be a really big piece of it. There is going to be weather and a day-night cycle. We also know that Smoliv and Lechonk took the internet by storm, specifically the pig friend. A lot of people were excited to see those, so it's likely that we'll see some new Pokemon revealed as well. They showed some different clothing options and then a bunch of returning Pokemon, as well as 3 potential locations that may be gyms, but it's still a little bit left to be kind of determined on what that actually was. We saw that the legendary Pokemon were revealed and ultimately the box art, which gave us a lot of insight as to what this game could really entail. And then in between then, over the last few weeks, we've got a ton of leaks from leakers like Riddler Koo, as well as Kaka, who have leaked screenshots of the game, including gym leaders, has leaked Pokemon like a Flamingo, and many, many more things. So there's been a ton of information that's come out, and if you want to recap some of that, you can actually check it out on the channel. I've made a ton of videos about all the leaks and everything, so feel free to take a look, poke around, see what you see. If you want to get caught up on the leaks, I'm sure some of that will get confirmed in the next video in the presentation. So what are we expecting to actually get in this presentation? I think the first thing we'll probably get is the region name. It's been leaked that it's probably called Paldea or Paldea in another language, so it's very likely that we get some information regarding the region name. I could also see them releasing the map. Now, we did get some blurry images of the map, but I could see them giving us a little bit more insight into the map and giving us some more diverse biomes and things of that nature. I think one of the biggest things that they would reveal at this point, or potentially in the coming weeks as we head towards the World Championship mid-August, is the main gimmick of the game, or at least one of the gimmicks. Through the leaks, we know that there's a few of them, one of which allows your Pokemon to kind of gain an advantage from a specific type. Another one of the gimmicks is these potential paradox forms where Pokemon get different forms, but they look very similar, although they have different names. We know that there's a few regional forms in the game, and then there's like a past and future kind of vibe going on. Apparently, there's all sorts of different divergent evolutions and stuff, so I think that at least revealing one of those mechanics makes a lot of sense as we start to really ramp up what we assume to be the marketing cycle for Scarlet and Violet. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some information about the gym leaders. We haven't gotten any gym leaders yet, so this would be a good opportunity for them to reveal at least one or a few of them. Generally, at this stage of the game, they would probably show us kind of the beginning of the game, so I could see us seeing the first gym leader or maybe some other key trainers, like another rival, which has been leaked as well. I could see them revealing our second rival or one of our rivals outside of Nemona, or maybe even expanding on the storyline for Nemona in general. I'll be honest, I would not expect to see starter evolutions at this stage. Generally, they keep those pretty close, so I would say you're probably not going to see those yet, but always a possibility that at least the second stage gets revealed. They're not going to reveal the third stage at this stage of the game, I don't think. If there's going to be a new evolution, I would say that this could be an opportunity for them to tease that or show that, although based on the leaks we have, it seems though there is not going to be a new evolution, so I wouldn't get too excited about that. We may see the new Pokemon Ami, Pokemon Camp kind of feature, which we believe to be called Pokemon Picnic, so perhaps we'll see something regarding that, how the functionality of that works. We know we can bathe and wash our Pokemon and things of that nature, so we'll see what that looks like. And before I kind of go any further, I want to let you guys know that my secret project, Alestrals, just revealed our third spirit, Zaptor. You can see the trailer here, which looks amazing. And if you guys want to win a holographic Zaptor card for me, make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at Alestrals and check out the awesome community we're building on Discord. I'll give you guys updates here and there throughout my videos. I'll just kind of sneak them in. So if you guys are following Alestrals, shout outs to you, and feel free to enter to win a holographic Zaptor card. We did hear through leaks that raids are making a return, so I could see them talking about raids again, or maybe some of the features like mass outbreaks, which were in previous games, showing that they're going to be making a comeback. I could also see them showing a new regional form of a Pokemon that's already existed. Like, we know Primeape was leaked to potentially have a new form. I could see them showcasing that. But again, I think teasing the Paradox forms might be the play here. Same with Tauros. I feel like showing a new form of an existing Pokemon like Tauros could be really big for the fandom. I think it's important to recognize that while we here in the community follow the leaks very closely, I know you guys follow them on the channel and things like that, that doesn't mean the greater Pokemon universe of fans follows them, right? I would say that probably like 98% of people who are gonna probably get Scarlet and Violet do not follow the leaks, right? So keep in mind that while some of this information may be obvious to us as people who follow this, it may not be so obvious to the kind of the average casual Pokemon fan. A bit of a stretch, but we could see something regarding a mythical Pokemon as well, based on like a movie tie-in. That would be the, I don't really anticipate that, but we'll have to see. I could also see them expanding on the functionality of the legendary Pokemon Koraidon and Miraidon, which we believe are going to be very influential and important in the game in terms of traveling and traversing the region. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something regarding that. And of course, Scarlet and Violet isn't the only game in the franchise. I think there's going to be some information regarding some of the other titles, like Pokemon Unite's new edition of Buzzwole being added, I believe, tonight or tomorrow. They also announced that Tyranitar is coming to the game, and they may lay out some of the framework for some of the other Pokemon coming out in the course of September. We also know that the Pokemon Championship is coming up, so they may have some promotion around that, some stuff around Pokemon Unite being at the championship, as well as other games. Pokemon Masters, I believe, is having some sort of an event going on right now. With a couple different characters. I haven't been following the game, to be honest. Pokemon Sleep is the big one. We have not heard about Pokemon Sleep in a long time, and this would probably be the best opportunity for them to bring it back to the table, or at least address the fact that we haven't heard anything about it. Cafe Remix has been a game that they've kind of talked a lot about, so maybe there's some sort of events for Gen 9. I highly doubt it, but there could be some updates to BDSP or Pokemon Legends Arceus. They did announce Daybreak as the DLC in the last Presents back in February, so if they're going to announce another DLC for Legends Arceus, it would probably come at this point. And it was interesting that they named the previous DLC, kind of indicating that maybe there's another DLC coming. So again, don't get your hopes too high, but it would be a possibility, I would say. And then last but not least, I think it's very possible that we get a new IP or a new kind of game coming out of this in general. Pokemon pretty much every year has released a new kind of spin-off title, and I think this year is the only one that they haven't yet. I think every year in the last however many years they've had like spin-off titles announced or confirmed or whatever it may be. And again, this year has been pretty dry with the exception of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. I could see them doing some sort of report. I know there's a lot of talks about them doing like virtual consoles on the Switch. Maybe they poured in some of the older Pokemon games so you can replay them. I know that that would go over really well with the fans. I think those are all possibilities. I wouldn't get your hopes too high, but definitely possibilities. So that's a very concise breakdown of what we saw, what we're probably going to see or potentially going to see regarding Scarlet and Violet and kind of the rest of the franchise. I'm excited for the Pokemon Presents. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun tomorrow. Be sure to show some love. Tune into my live stream at twitch.tv/adrive. I'll be live at around 8 a.m. Eastern time with the presentation taking place at 9. We expect it to be about 20 minutes long. So it's gonna be action-packed filled with Pokemon content regarding Scarlet and Violet, as well as the other games in the franchise. An exciting time to be a Pokemon fan for sure. And hopefully this is the end of the drought and the beginning of a wonderful news cycle heading into November. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe if you guys are new, and don't forget about that sweet giveaway going on Twitter for Alestrals to win those holographic Zaptor cards. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.
Butterfree, go!